Hello, welcome to Panorama, coming to you live from NTA Network Center, Jos. Ahead of by-elections in Plateau State, INEC meets with key players in Jos. Federal government on food sufficiency distributes agricultural input to farmers. Stakeholders highlight roles of traditional and religious institutions in peace and conflict resolutions. I am Felicia Dalio Samaila. Efforts at building a new partnership between Africa and Europe aimed at promoting prosperity and sustainable growth through transformative products have been intensified as the EU-African Union Summit gets underway in Brussels, Belgium. The summit, the sixth in its series, has as its theme, Africa and Europe, a joint vision for 2030. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that President Muhammadu Buhari is leading Nigeria delegation to the hybrid event.
His Excellency the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
It was a warm welcome for President Muhammadu Buhari on arrival at Europa building seat of the European Council for the EU-African Union Summit holding for the first time in 5 years. The heads of state and government from Europe and Africa are here to, amongst others, enhance their unique relationship in critical economic sectors, cement the principles of future partnership based on mutual respect, solidarity and transparency, as well as promote ambitious large-scale investment package in Africa. Efforts will also be intensified to better connect their countries, people, services, businesses, as well as improve supply chains and investments in transport, energy and education towards creating millions of jobs.
We are all linked together by invisible bonds, which mean that we belong to something which is greater than each one of us individually. Your well-being has an impact on my well-being and vice versa. Prosperity of Africa is in Europe's interest. We have to work together on strengthening cooperation in the field of peace and security and combating terrorism through the European Peace Facility.
That means that the summit that we are holding today, I think it comes at an exceptional crossroads in time. A crossroads where we have to decide as Europeans whether we want to build a new strategy, a new alliance, unique in the world with you in Africa to help you succeed. We are aware that any success will be shared or it will not happen. If the African continent is not successful, the first people to notice, the first people to feel the effects outside of Africa will be Europe. And that is why we must build a new alliance, a new axis together on a number of bases.
A declaration on a joint vision for 2030 is expected to be adopted by participating heads of state and government at the end of the summit. It will announce a €150 billion Africa-Europe investment package that will support large-scale investments in green and digital transition, sustainable growth and decent job creation, as well as human capital development. From Brussels, Belgium, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the federal government would continue to explore ways to support the creative sector and improve other aspects of national life. The Vice President said this when he received a delegation made up of notable artists, musicians, entertainers, and creatives from the northern parts of the country. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
They came under the auspices of a group named 13 by 13 Awareness Group, led by Kannywood personalities such as Dauda Adamu Rarara, Yakubu Muhammad, among several others. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo observed that our country's most important resource are its human resources, and Nigeria must place a premium on this because its talents are the country's biggest export and significant investment. The Vice President noted that Nigeria's creative sector is one of the most vibrant anywhere, observing that Nigeria's impressive array of talents across the creative sector needs to be showcased more to the world. Vice President Osinbajo noted that the Buhari administration will continue to ramp up efforts to improve security across the country and also emphasized on the commitment of President Muhammadu Buhari to better the lot of the country, noting that the president is a honest leader. Leader of the delegation, Alhaji Rarara, praised the government for many of its laudable programs that has touched so many people and added that more needed to be done. He solicited government assistance in helping to address some of the challenges the industry is facing, especially in the area of financial enablement. The Vice President said he's looking forward to working with the group to resolve the challenges of the industry. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Nigeria, through the Future Assured program under the Aisha Buhari Foundation, is to partner with the Dubai-based digital school to establish a comprehensive digital academy in Nigeria for the benefits of less privileged Nigerians, especially women, children, and other vulnerable groups. This came to light when the First Lady visited Dubai Digital School in the United Arab Emirates, which is the initiative of Mohammed Rashid Al Maktoum Global Initiative. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
In furtherance of our mission to the United Arab Emirates, the First Lady of Nigeria led members of our delegation to the Dubai Digital School, which is the idea of Mohammed Rashid Al Maktoum. The First Lady intimated the officials of the foundation of her engagements in Nigeria, especially her effort of engaging the school dropout amongst the Nigerian youth, particularly girls, with optimism of restoring hope of achieving their ambition for having a brighter future. The idea is to engage in a partnership with the foundation to establish digital schools across the 36 states of the Federation under the auspices of the Aisha Buhari Foundation in collaboration with the pet projects of the wives of the state governors. The First Lady informed the gathering that the program will also cover children with special needs.
Future Assured has been working on education empowerment on youths. We normally deal with the dropouts, those that did not finish their secondary school or they have completed their secondary school with unsatisfactory result. So we normally give them like 3 months tutorials, to brush them up, and then before writing their final exams. We had 2 sessions of it, and the first one, the success was like 45%, and the second one, the success was 94% recently. Out of 600, I think we got like 560 something or so, or 70 something that really made it to the university. And we're hoping to do more.
The officials of the Dubai Digital School reaffirmed their readiness to partner with the Aisha Buhari Foundation towards achieving targets.
Which is one of MBRGI initiatives, and we thank Dr. Manal for facilitating this. She talked a lot about your excellencies and the great support you have there. And she was telling me, you need to start working in Nigeria and engaging with the people there. There is a great support in this regard. After this short presentation, we'll take you in a tour to the robotics lab, which is behind you, here where UAE government is doing innovation in robotics and how it will help develop multiple sectors in UAE, and a quick tour into Area 2071.
All the necessary arrangements are on top gear for the commencement of the program. In Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Nigeria is to strengthen its collaboration with the United States to upscale its creative industry. This was when the main thrust of the discussion between Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed and the U.S. Deputy Secretary of State for African Affairs, Akuna Cook, when she paid a courtesy visit to the minister in Abuja. Anthony Fossen reports.
Even though Nigeria's creative industry, Lai Mohammed said, contributes immensely to the nation's economy, Nigeria will benefit more through the collaboration with the United States.
Of immediate importance to us in Nigeria at this time is how to continue to improve the quality of our films. As you know, Nollywood, as our film industry is known, is among the top 3 in the world. Yes, the quality of our films have improved incrementally over the years, but we can still benefit from the rich experience of America's Hollywood, the undisputed world best.
On digitization, the minister explained the strides Nigeria has taken so far to ensure that it does not lag behind, especially in broadcasting. Lai Mohammed used the opportunity to explain to his guests how government is working hard to sanitize the media space for wholesome content.
So I want you to take back to the US. Nigeria is has one of the freest press laws in the world.
Akuna Cook, on her part, said she is impressed with Nigeria and called for more content that projects the uniqueness of Africa and its abundant opportunities. She equally pushed for investment in human capital. With elections beckoning in Nigeria, a liberal media space, she said, would propel election success. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Minister of Humanitarian and Disaster Management, Sadia Umar Farouk, has been speaking on the ministry's progress towards realizing the president's vision of pulling 100 million Nigerians out of poverty through humanitarian efforts being implemented in the northeast and other parts of the country. The minister made the remark at the weekly executive briefing of press at the presidential villa in Abuja. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
It is estimated that about 7.1 million people are in need of humanitarian assistance in the northeast region, with a total of 8.1 million people who are internally displaced across the country. A vacuum created as a result of natural disasters and man-made crises. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, saddled with the responsibility to meet the growing demands of the poor and vulnerable in the country, is presenting its scorecard to Nigerians on the various activities across agencies under its purview.
The ministry also undertook several intervention programs with distribution of food and non-food items to the poor and vulnerable across the country. The settlement city for IDPs, the mass housing project as part of the 10,000 housing units which the federal government is funding for the Northeast. The Northeast Development Commission has constructed and handed over 1,000 of these housing units to Borno State government. There's also the construction of 300 housing units which is ongoing, that's being done by the National Commission for Refugees and Migrants. The National Senior Citizen Center has conducted medical outreaches to elderly people within the FCT.
Persons with disabilities have been integrated into the various national social investment programs.
His Excellency Mr. President has graciously approved the expansion of the NC program and the Empire by Sea from 500,000 to 1 million Nigerian youths, to which enrollment has been concluded and are awaiting onboarding and assignment to their places of primary assignment. And currently, 1,632,480 households are benefiting from the conditional cash transfer program.
There is high expectation that policies formulated by the ministry will expand the scope and reach out to more Nigerians, restore hope, and bridge the gap of social inclusion for all. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
Report was by Ruth Aguele and not Jide Onifade. Moving on, federal government is urging farmers to key into the various intervention programs of government in its march towards food sufficiency. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud Abubakar, was speaking while distributing rural inputs to smallholder farmers in Jos. Ndenyang and Deabagyang has more.
After an assessment of the negative impact of COVID-19, the Ministry of Agriculture designed a support program targeting smallholder farmers to enable them get back to the farms and continue production.
Farmers have been suffering from lack of fertilizer and other inputs like the seedling, but this will enhance their farming productivity.
The input will help us to enhance the development of our income in terms of agriculture. If we use it, usually really will appreciate, we will enjoy it more than everything.
This initiative is to enhance farming, create jobs, and generate wealth. The minister told farmers that agriculture remains a priority of the present administration to stimulate local production, achieve self-sufficiency, and attract investment.
Let me appeal to the beneficiaries of this support to make judicious use of this input in order to enhance food production in our dear country.
This is a sign of good things for our farmers in this farming season. For choosing to do this in Plateau State, we are highly honored and express our deep appreciation to Mr. President and your humble self for this gesture.
We are happy that this event is being planned up even in the Plateau. On behalf of the Honorable Minister, congratulate all the women and the beneficiaries.
Other stakeholders applauded the initiative of the federal government towards food sufficiency, calling for the sustenance of the program. In Jos, Ndenyan and Deabagyang, NTA News.
To ensure transparency during the February 26th by-elections for Jos North, Basa Federal Constituency and Panching South State Constituency, the Independent National Electoral Commission is introducing bimodal voters accreditation system. This was during a meeting with stakeholders at the INEC office in Jos. The reports. As the February 26th by-elections for Jos North, Basa Federal Constituency and Panching South State Constituency draw near, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is not resting on its oars to ensure credibility during the polls. Brainstorming with stakeholders, INEC says, as an unbiased umpire, it will provide a level playing ground for political parties, as well as ensure that only voters who participated in the 2019 general elections will be allowed to vote. To this end, the bimodal voter accreditation system is introduced as a means of capturing instead of the card reader to further checkmate issues of overvoting.
Technology is advancing, and that's why we are utilizing it also to add value to the election process.
The police, in collaboration with the lead agency, in collaboration with other security agencies, we are fully prepared and we are good to go.
We expect voters to be out on that day, to be at the various polling units for the by-elections followed the demise of the legislators from the Jos North, Basa Federal Constituency and Panching South State Constituency. With me in the studio is the resident electoral commissioner of Plateau State, Hussaini Halilupai, to talk more on the by-elections. Sir, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, viewers.
Sir, INEC is making arrangements towards by-elections in Plateau State.
Yes.
We want you to shed more light on issues leading to the conduct of the exercise.
Thank you very much, the anchor of this program. By-elections are held when vacancy exists. And that's why they are not fresh elections. So in this case, the by-election that will come up on the 26th of this month is to fill in the gap of the demise of the occupants of those seats, namely the demise of Alhaji Haruna Maitala Jingir, who was the elected representative, federal representative representing Jos North Bassa Federal Constituency, which sad event occurred on the 2nd of April 2021 through road accident. And the second constituency is a state constituency of Pangshin South. And that one too died, though as a result of surgery. And his name is Barrister Henry Sonbus Longs, who died, when he was being operated. And he died on the 28th of November 2021. Now, you can see they have died in different times. But INEC will not normally fill in the gap until a vacancy is declared. For the Federal House of Rep, it had to be declared by the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives. And then for the state constituency, it had to be declared vacant by the Speaker, which they did. And INEC, in its wisdom, because there are many other instances like this that are happening, and they now fixed the date of 26 to actually make the by-election of these constituencies. And there are other 3 states that will also conduct a by-election in their various states.
Okay. Okay, looking at all these, we have barely 7 days to the D-Day. Yeah. What's the level of preparation?
Well, as is traditional with INEC, we always prepare along with the stakeholders. Therefore, carrying stakeholders along is very key in our preparation. For example, we couldn't do any preparation until our meeting with the various stakeholders. Like what you have shown here is one of such stakeholders meeting, where INEC unleashes how and the pattern of how the election will actually take place. What are the roles of each of these stakeholders, so that at the end we are going to ensure that a free, fair, and credible elections are actually being held.
Okay.
We have met with the political parties, because they are the people that they have the candidates. And in that meeting with them, we need to tell them what they are supposed to do, to collect the forms, to also conduct their primary election, and then to also give us the list of their agents, and we as INEC will monitor such things.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for being in our studios. Panorama will continue after the break. Stay with us.
We need to reach out to the people. We should convince them. We should use the systems that we have used before in getting our people vaccinated over the years.
Please, this is good for you and good for others and good for the health of all Nigerians.
I want to reassure our people that as your governor, I will not subscribe to anything that will harm you nor affect your well-being.
Which has helped other states, including states, to demonstrate capacity to rise to the occasion in our collective effort to win the deserved war against COVID-19.
From all indications, quality, safety, efficacy, the benefits outweigh the side effects. So, from all indications, the generally safe.
I have to congratulate Mr. President and particularly the PTF headed by the Secretary of Government.
Thank you for staying tuned. Now let's join Cynthia Ogun for sports updates.
Superfast.